So I'm very happy to participate in the name of our association. So I would like to walk you through all the process that we developed to provide psychological and educational support to our children and young people that are affected by NF1 and also their families. So regarding these educational projects, we decided to establish a protocol with the education ministry in Portugal, with our association, in order to request a mobility of a professor to be with us in our association and develop some activities. So we had to apply to a special project, to a special action of mobility, and this was successful. And Professor Liliana Gonçalves, that is attending this meeting, hi Liliana, was placed with us. She left for this school year 2000-2001. She left her school, but her salary is being paid by the school. So she's developing activities with us, but the school is paying her salary. So in September 2020, when school opens here in Portugal, we started these activities. So we carry out intervention with people, individual interventions, and also with schools. And all this help and all this support is for free. We announced these activities in our social networks, and we emailed every member so they can enroll in this project. So the goals are promote inclusion of children and young people with NF that are in schools and in society, of course, contribute to their success at school by developing school skills that can be impaired by the disease, as you know. Also alert school communities for the existence of rare disease, in particular NF, in order to develop and increase values of respect for human diversity. Also raise awareness within schools where these people are, the patients are, about NF, and also alert for these problems and learning disabilities. Also, Liliana will develop informative educational resources that can support school teams, teachers and auxiliary people, where these patients are, and also develop some activities with families and children that can improve their relationship with school, because sometimes these children have problems with school and they reject somehow this environment. So what is ongoing now? Liliana is preparing and sharing all this information regarding to education. She's doing some school intervention, raising awareness and promoting training actions for teachers and school technicians, collaborating in defining with schools strategies and monitoring those strategies that promote inclusion and school success. Also work with colleagues of these patients in informing them about the disease, so a better relationship can be developed. She provides pedagogical support, which is currently taking place individually and remotely. So this is developed in terms of giving the person some insights in order to develop emotions, skills, so the learning is facilitated. And also Liliana is collaborating in designing this NF Academy that we talked yesterday, a project that we want to implement next year. So what is achieved so far? 14 families have enrolled in this project. We developed this mascot here. This is an illustration of a small boy that is named Tito, and it is being helpful approaching children in all these activities. So Tito has an F1. He has some signs, as you can see here, related with the disease, this café au lait macula. We are providing school support for 5 children and 4 teenagers. So this happens once a week and via online because of this pandemic situation. Regarding school intervention, we have established contact with 9 schools in the continent and 3 schools in the archipelagos, Madeira and Island and Azores. Another project is the psychological support developed by Ines. Ines cannot be present today. Ines Bravo Fonseca finished her psychological psychology background, and contacted the association in October 2019. She sent us an email saying that she would like to do her first professional year with us. So we interviewed Ines, we liked her, and in November we decided to establish a protocol with the Portuguese Association for Psychologists, which is a requirement for the development of this year as a junior professional. Then we applied to the Employment Institute. So this institute can provide funds for the salary in case it's a first job, okay, for someone independent of the area of of this job. In December, we started her activities in 2019, and a salary was funded by this Employment Institute at the level of 80%. So we, association, guarantee 20% of her salary. So the aims are to provide psychological intervention for children and young people and their families for free. All these activities are for free. So if we charge any of these sessions, families will abandon these projects. We have that experience, so we decided not to charge any money for that. So she does a psychological assessment, psychological intervention, parental counseling. So when the diagnosis for stages of disease development, treatment, stress management related to medication or medical interventions that can be more invasive and stressful. She can provide help in situations of changes or crises, situations of violence and bullying that some children can suffer in schools and in society, promote their own social and emotional skills, and help them dealing with emotional, cognitive, and social problems of their children, and also some development disorders. She also established some therapeutic groups for children and caregivers or families in order to promote a better adaptation to this process dealing with the disease. She's also developing playful and pedagogical material, taking into account the challenges that these children and families experience, and is included in this in a book that she is preparing for children. So far we have 6 children or young people enrolled in this project. Currently we are supporting 4 children, 1 teenager and 1 sub-adult. During 2020, she prepared these 2 therapeutic groups for caregivers, 2 editions with 5 and 6 participants each, and developed a book with all the information she knows about NF and what can happen to children and early in their development. and also based on the experience she's having with following these children. So it is a illustrated book. Tito is the protagonist of these many adventures included in the book, and he's 7 years old, so he's in school and facing all these challenges. Okay, we applied for external funds to get this book. It's almost ready. The Portuguese Diplomats Association in 2019 made a fair and joined some funds and emailed associations related with rare diseases to apply, and we got a fund for the preparation of this book and also for the printing of 60 copies. Ines is preparing this guidebook for caregivers with some good information about the disease and how to deal with it. And also she prepared a lot of informative material that is now being shared with all the families enrolled in this project, and we will also will share this information with all the association members. In the near future, we will maintain the follow-up of these cases and will accepting new registry. So after this first year with Ines, we will continue with her. So we will establish a contract with her for the next 6 months. We'll see then what funds we can raise. She will start a new therapeutic group, but with a different mode of intervention. So caregivers can now join and suggest some issues that can be discussed. So it's not planned. The program for these therapeutic groups is not planned in advance, but it will follow the needs that caregivers want to discuss. Okay. For children, these therapeutic groups can work in a different way, like in presence, if possible, by reading a chapter of the book and exploring some issues related with social and emotional skills. And also Ines can collaborate in the preparation, in designing and preparation of this NF Academy. So we have some issues with fundraising, but we are making appeals to our members and friends. To run all these projects, we need to create an adequate space for clinical appointments, and we need to acquire specific materials for psychological evaluation, of course. At last, Ines will continue developing this important playful and pedagogical material for children. So just to give you a glimpse into the book that we are preparing, it is named Tito's Adventures. Tito was born brave, and the main chapters are 5 and related to Tito and some challenges that he can face as a young children with NF1. Tito and the hospital, Tito and the disease, Tito and his family, and his school and his emotions. At the last part of the book, there's a message from Tito to these people, and also tips for families. And this is the first stage of the cover. It's being illustrated. I hope it is now better developed and colored, but is being done by Mafalda Mota, that we met. She is a designer, and she has a work that is named Heroes Without a Coat. So it was very interesting to find her and her job, and how can I say, a mission, right? So I think these two projects, psychological and educational projects, are very close together, and Ines and Liliana are doing this together and can work together in some activities, as I mentioned before. A last word about the NF Academy. We will follow what have been done by NFU, but I think we can also add some workshops about curriculum vitae preparation, and also provide some tips and for a first job interview for young people. So we are.
Un momento, que es que me acabo de conectar y no sabía que saldría tan fuerte el volumen.
To improve this for young people, because we think it is a challenge. They don't know well how to prepare a CV, how to prepare for a job interview, and somehow we can help in this. And that's it. We did all these in 2020 with all these challenges that you know about the pandemic, but at the end of this year, I think we did a lot, and people are aware of our activities, and each day we receive information and feedback about how happy they are with our activity. So I think this is a good sign. Thank you very much.